Hello everybody, welcome once more to my skit on live video. This time I am trying to comment on Ali Rajas of Kannur in the Sultanate of the Laccadives. Now Ali Musa Ali Raja's conquest of the Maldives is pregnant in history. Not because he could conveniently appropriate for himself vast income, or rather vast treasures that could be derived from lucrative trade in Maldivian bonito, ambergris, but that he could successfully negotiate his frail fleet of manchus and patemars through tortuous twists in the sea's channel, lurching and shuddering in total defiance of tropical storms and hurricanes. Cutting across the deep roar of the sea in their mizzen-masted vessels, it was not an easy walkover for Ali Musa, the fifth in the line, for the Maldives is often referred to as the land of gales, storms, and undercurrents. Just as we have Meenattungan Arya Chakravarti, the Sedu Kavalan ruling over Pamban, and the reef of the Mannar Island in the Park Strait from Jaffna, and also the Mukkuvar dynasty of Puttalam in Sri Lanka. Similarly, King Vikramaditya Pardavarma Pandian of Thoothukudi in the Gulf of Mannar, who is designated Prince of Paravas or Little King of Tuticorin. So also we have in that day and age of the sailing vessel, when shipbuilding buckled to matelotage flowed along the arteries of trade and commerce, the ninth degree channel in the Indian Ocean was aptly termed Mammali Channel. British naval charts and almanac would be devoid of naval splendor without adequate mention of Mammali Channel in honor of Ali Raja Mammali Kidavu. When it is specifically stated in quite unequivocal a term that the Ali Rajas of Kannur were imperial collateries, sea customs agents, besides being promoted High Admiral of the Fleet and Intendant of the Marines at the port. This Aryan Kulangaram Nayak, I would say, learning even the rudiments of sea and survival lore, being the sort of indulgence a Nayak could hardly allow himself, and whose munitions of war never included bark, brick, what shall I say, schooner and sloop, it becomes not at all elusive for analysis on this Mukkuvan fisher chieftain turned Padanayak, even though later he embraced Islam and apostatized to Mohammedanism. Against the backdrop of the turquoise waters of the Arabian Sea as Ali Raja's frail fleet penetrated the grey solitude. He styled himself as Sultanul Bahr, or King of the High Seas, befitting such position. His priority to trade in dried bonito, a privilege of Maldivian kings because of its abundance, and his claim to all the valuable sea products, ambergris, tortoiseshell, holothuria, and sea cucumber, finds a favorable analogy in Aryan chieftains, similarly entitled to heads of porpoises captured in their jurisdiction. The old adage, Arakkale Bibimarde Mangalattine, mean wavered, and the custom of Okilakkarku Olamin Patal Arakkale Kalcha has become almost proverbial. The origin of Ali Raja's Puchamin Kana is found traced to royal fish, so designate because it belonged to the king as a matter of prerogative. The twin fish emblazoned on Ali Raja's heraldry or coat of arms evince interest to the extent of half the share of shark fins claimed by Ali Raja's Puchamin contractor. However, as navigational techniques spawned some of the earliest traffic in trade and commerce, Ali Raja's flotilla of frigates controlled the invulnerable shipping lanes that crisscross the ocean blue. And by the late 1850s, the BBs of Kannur possessed 5 barks and 7 ODs, in addition to several bandodis engaged in the Bengal trade. When this portrayal of Ali Raja, like Sethu Kavalan of the Pamban Channel, would incorporate graphic description that would approximate to a high definition, equating him with fishermen, Mukkuvan fishermen, Muslim dynasty at Kannur, as to expose a rich spectrum of disturbing implications. Even the semantic unit Ali, Alu, Alat, Adi, Adam, Adaram, etc., have had the most misfortune of yielding themselves to interminable amateurism interpretation. Given the rubrics of academic outpouring, elitist social historians leave no slot in their narrative structure to accommodate adequate discussion on Ali Rajas, who were Mukkuvan kings of Kannur port of Kannur. As histories of civilization is writ large in the history and development of seaports, ports functioned initially as rendezvous or landing bases of fishing fleet, because fisheries, no doubt, formed the nursery of seamen all over the globe. However, in a voice with an arresting timbre, it could be said with a sure amount of certainty that Valiya Kadakkodi, tantamount to obsolete Rhodian sea court in Byzantine Greece. Valiya Kadakkodi convened during times of Kannur or final appeal in the divine presence of Arakkal Ali Rajas. As Ali Rajas thalassic connection, basically because he had his palatial Palamadam and the Arakkal built near steady rolling phalanx of giant tidal waves that crash in upon the shore, and whose thalassic connection has been his success or sure way to prosperity. Ali Raja presiding over Valiya Kadakkodi can never be lessened, much less ignored. Thank you all very much for listening to this disquisition on the fabled Ali Rajas of Kannur. Have a nice day.